Ranking major transfers that have already happened this summer. Right, let's go. We'll start with the biggest one, Lionel Messi to Inter Miami. Now, I think if Messi wants to retire and relax in America, that's all cool. I can deal with that. But why would you go to Inter Miami? They're the worst club in the MLS Eastern Conference. So why would you go there? A for the location, F for the team. Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid. Now, this is a quality move. We've had Englishmen such as David Beckham, Michael Owen, and the mighty Jonathan Woodgate put on the Los Blancos shirt, but having Jude Bellingham just feels right. Their midfielders Modric and Kroos are aging, so they need some fresh blood. And with Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Bellingham set to be their three midfielders perhaps for the next decade, they look pretty set. I think this is an A transfer for sure, and I can't wait to see how he does. Yuri Tielemans to Aston Villa. Now this is a great signing as well. On a free? Oh my god. Can't wait to see how he does in an Aston Villa shirt in Conference League football. Although he was underwhelming last season, he's still a quality baller, and he will do something with Unai Emery and this Aston Villa team. I'll give it an A-. João Pedro to Brighton. This is a good transfer, but I have my doubts. The fee seems a little excessive, and although I respect Brighton's recruitment, João Pedro is a little Premier League unproven. He hasn't scored too many goals. However, Brighton always seem to know what they're doing, so I'll give this a B ranking. Chris Wood to Nottingham Forest. Why? Why? What's the point? He was rubbish. Just why? Doesn't make any sense. F ranking for sure. Alexis McAllister to Liverpool from Brighton. Now this is a good signing. With the likes of Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain set to leave, I think this is probably the right move. They need to rebuild their midfield. And McAllister's a World Cup winner, so that's a pretty good choice to have in your midfield. I'll give this a B+, just because he isn't maybe a top player yet, and perhaps they're overpaying just a little bit. Ngolo Kante to Al Ittihad. Well, I mean, Chelsea are just getting rid of all their deadwood now, aren't they? I mean, Kante wasn't that great last season, but you know what? He had to go at some point. He was getting on a bit. So I think I'll give this a B ranking. Konrad Laimer to Bayern Munich. This seems like a good signing, and most Bayern Munich signings from Leipzig seem to have worked quite well. So I think Bayern buying all of the Bundesliga players from other clubs strategy will continue to work here. We'll give it an A-. Giacomo Raspadori to Napoli after his loan. He wasn't that great on loan, to be honest, but he did help win the league, so C, if I'm honest, because the stats don't exactly impress me too much. Christoph Baumgartner has trained at Hoffenheim for Leipzig, as Leipzig spends some of their Nkunku money. For a side who was struggling last season in the Bundesliga, 7 goals and 7 assists is pretty solid, so I'll give this a good B+. And now on to Christopher Nkunku, who has joined Chelsea. I find this a bit odd when you've signed Timo Werner from the exact same club and he plays in a very similar position and a very similar amount of hype about him and you're still signing him. He's probably regretting it as well, given you missed out on European football. So only a B, and that's a hesitant B. And finally, we're going to end with Orkun Kökçü, who has gone from Feyenoord to Benfica. Now, I think Benfica's recruitment here has been very good. Kökçü is a very strong player. He's been a massive help to Feyenoord's European and domestic pushes, so I'm very impressed by the signing. It gets an A ranking. And that concludes it. Were there any transfers I missed? Please let me know in the comments if you want a part 2, and I'll see you later.